Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to the Dugout Football channel. And it is match day number 2 of the 23-24 Premier League as Liverpool take on Bournemouth at Anfield. Yes, the first game in front of what will be described as a reduced capacity, because obviously the Anfield road end is not quite ready, but the lower end is ready. So as you can see, being joined by a very special guest, we have Matt from up the Cherries in all departments. How are you, mate?
Yeah, all good. Thanks for having us on.
That's a pleasure. It is an absolute pleasure. And yeah, I mean, going into this game, obviously you did obviously follow up with the draw against West Ham. Do you feel that you should have had more out of that game?
Yeah, I mean, at times we were the better side. Probably for the first sort of 10, 15 minutes of each half, West Ham controlled a bit of the game. But in terms of opportunities, we hit the bar, we hit the post a couple of times, and I just feel that if we had an extra 10 minutes on it in that fixture, we may have nicked a win. But all in all, not a bad start. And obviously the new manager is trying to implement his way of playing as well. So early days.
Yes, definitely. No, it's a good result. Considering that you did actually, I think you lost 4-0 the last time against West Ham at the Vitality. So big improvement, especially. Have you seen any sort of differences between Andoni Iraola and Gary O'Neill?
Yeah, massively. I mean, if you just compare compared the two West Ham games there, massive difference. So, I mean, with O'Neill, I mean, one of my biggest criticisms of him, I mean, he did a fantastic job. He kept Bournemouth in the league. That was the main objective of last season.
Yeah.
So we can't, overall, he did a good job. But it'd be a case of if we went 1-0 up, it's a case of let's sit back. Bournemouth's never been good at doing that. Never. And, sometimes, his substitutions were quite questionable. I mean, we all question all managers' substitutions, but I mean, at times they just seem mind-boggling. Our new gaffer, Mr. Iraola, he is completely different. Very, very attack-minded. It's kind of, I imagine it is, you score 2, we're going to score 3 kind of mentality. We will concede goals this season, still under the new manager, but we've got more of an attacking flair, and with the new additions as well coming in, they're very, very suitable to his way of playing. So a massive difference. Hopefully, obviously last time we were at Anfield, we can't really compare that to now because it was a completely deflated squad by the manager at the time. And this time, hopefully, regardless of the result, you'll see a very, very different Bournemouth performance.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, I obviously watch like a lot of Spanish football, so obviously I do know about Andoni Iraola, and when he was at Rayo Vallecano, I think he did a fantastic job there, as well. So I think he's a very, very good manager. I think in the long run, I think he will be a very, very good manager for you guys. Let's just jump into the chat very, very quickly. Hello, Liz. Hope you are well. Hello, Calvin. Hello, Predator Gaming as well. Disdain. Calvin, I'm not bad, mate. I'm not bad at all. I hope you are well. Should be an easy one, but you never know with our dodgy defence in midfield. Hi, Henry, as well. Henry saying hi to Matt as well. So, transfers-wise, I would say it's been a pretty good transfer window for you guys. How would you describe your transfer window? Because you brought a few players in, that has to be said.
Yeah, no, it's been, like I just briefly said, the signings of that we've made will suit the new manager's style of play. Yeah, Kluivert, obviously, everyone knows his dad for the goal scoring exploits that he performed during his playing career. Different player to his dad. Very, very good attacking player. Can play wide, can play central. He was a big catch for us. Milos Kerkez, don't know if you've heard of him. left back.
Yeah.
Fantastic player, really, really exciting player. We've also signed Max Aarons, who for me made his debut against West Ham. And considering he's not played any pre-season friendly matches, he put in a very, very good shift. There's a lot to come from him. We signed Scott from Bristol City. Obviously, there were several Premier League clubs after him. A very, very big prospect, one for the future. We've got a new backup keeper in Radu. Do you know what? It's been quite a busy window. I'm trying to remember.
Yeah. I mean, you might not be finished because there's potential that Tyler Adams as well, which I think is a very, very good signing, especially to replace Jefferson Lerma, especially.
Exactly. Obviously, he was at Chelsea last week having a medical, wasn't he? And they pulled out, and hopefully that'll be Bournemouth's gain. The midfield for me does lack that little bit of bite, and that's what he can bring. And obviously, that's what we've lost with Lerma, which a lot of Bournemouth fans we're all still getting over it because he put in a great display for Palace the other day. But hopefully, Tyler comes in and hopefully fills that void.
Yeah, 100%. And obviously, Kirkish, I remember obviously watching last season. I think it was either in the Europa League, I think it was, and he was fantastic for Alkmaar. He really, really was. Alex Scott as well. I think that's a fantastic signing, especially the money that Bristol City have now got as well. And yeah, there were a couple of teams. I think Wolves were in for him. I think West Ham potentially were another team in for him. So to get Alex Scott is very, very good. Hamid Junior Traore as well, attacking midfielder.
Yeah.
You've got a really, really good squad now as well. What would you say are your expectations for this season?
Well, on our channel we did a tier list which we do each season. And in that, both myself and Craig placed Bournemouth 12th, I think it was.
Mm-hmm.
For me, it's definitely an expectation because obviously for moving Gary O'Neill out to bring in a new man, you expect to do better than last season. And I think 11th, 12th would be a good sign of improvement. And I think with the players we've signed and with what I've seen in pre-season and what I saw against West Ham, there's no reason why we could not get the points to achieve that kind of place. I mean, it's not going to be crazy. I mean, there's been some crazy talk about, let's go for Europa League and all that, and it's way too early days, daft talk. I think 11th, 12th would be a very, very respectable season.
Yeah, I think as well, sort of building on from obviously the 15th place finish. As well, it's funny because I've seen people do their actual annual predictions. Some people have you guys to go down, which I think is completely unfair. Because I think the owner Foley, I think he's doing a fantastic job, and he's obviously got a very good sort of mindset going, forward. As well, I honestly think that the teams down there, you've obviously got Luton, you've got Sheffield United. I think they're probably going to be there or thereabouts in sort of relegation. And then I think there's a couple of other teams. I think with Bournemouth, I think you've now had a season in the Premier League, and now it's just a chance to sort of just do as well as you possibly can.
Yeah, no, totally agree with you. And obviously, you've commented on Iraola's performances at his previous club. Underdog manager, underdog team. Had a good run in the cups as well, so that would be lovely to have a good cup run. Something that we've never really ever done, to be fair. So hopefully that's something that he can bring to the club and just have a respectable Premier League finish.
Yeah, 100%. Guys, do get your comments in below. If you have any questions from Matt as well, I will star them. And I will ask him at the end of the show. Let me just scroll back up because there's been a few more comments. Predator Gaming has asked, off topic, what do you guys think about today's match? Can Sevilla surprise City? I've got to be honest, it's been one of those games where it's been one of the less hyped Super Cups I can remember. I can only see City winning. to be honest. I can only see them winning. I think they're a very, very good side. Look, Sevilla did really well to win the Europa League again. I mean, they are the kings of that competition. But yeah, I think City will be too strong. To be honest, the Predator gaming. Matt, you the same?
I totally agree with what you just said there. Totally agree. I think they'd just be a bit too strong.
Yeah, I think so. Liz is asking, why did you choose Bournemouth?
Why did I choose Bournemouth? What, as in to support Bournemouth?
Yeah.
Well, long story really. But I'm Bournemouth born and bred. I'm 37, and I've
Fantastic.
been watching Bournemouth since the age of 4. So it was sort of my father, my grandfather, my brother. We've all been Bournemouth supporters. We've all been always gone to games. So yeah, that's a pretty easy answer.
Oh, excellent. I do like that. Hello, Elevator as well. Um, Henry, yes, Thiago and Bajcetic are back in training for this weekend's game. I have seen Thiago pictured. I haven't seen Bajcetic pictured, but apparently he is there as well. Putin, hello, mate. Where's CDM player Liverpool going? Can't see Bajcetic and McAllister. No, I mean, it could be anybody. I mean, Doucouré seems to be getting linked with the Crystal Palace player. I think we're in as well for Fofana. I think there was another one. Kamara at Aston Villa. Look, I'm going to say this again, and I said this a while ago as well. Once they're holding up a shirt, once they're holding up a scarf, then I'll obviously believe it. If they're signing paperwork, then I'll believe it. But it's all paper talk right now. It is all paper talk. So I'm not believing anything right now. But yeah, I can't see McAllister as a CDM for the entire season. Let me just say that. Man City 5-0. Well, that could be potentially. Apparently, Polini is another one as our main target, and we're slaying the race of Doucouré. Jack, hello mate, hope you're well. Go and check out Anfield Road TV as well. Big up lads, hope you're both well and chat. Listen, hi to Jack. Henry's asked a very good question. Where does Matt see their main goals coming from?
Good, very, very, very good question. Yeah, very good question. The goals have got to come from a little bit all over the place, I think.
Yeah.
Dom, Solanke, obviously, which Liverpool fans will know of. Championship, he teared it up. 30 goals that season. Premier League hasn't hit double figures yet. So I think, and he's a great player, Dom, great footballer, does a lot of hard work for the team. Doesn't get as much credit probably sometimes for his off the ball work, but we could do with Dom maybe popping up with 10 goals this season, but we're definitely going to need, our wingers, the likes of Brooksy, Brooksy, Chore, who've mentioned previously. Players like that are also going to have to contribute this season.
Yeah. I think it might be a collective of getting the goals in, but I don't think you'll have a problem with that. Hello, Maisie. Hope you're well. Hope you're doing okay, Maisie. I know you've not been on YouTube for a while, but obviously I hope everything's going well for you. Welcome to the stream. If we don't get a CDM now, it'll be an embarrassing transfer window. Yeah, absolutely. Listen, hi to Maisie. Maisie saying hello to Liz. I honestly think Bournemouth will struggle to survive this season, but I have them 17th. Football's all about opinions, Elevator. Football is all about opinions.
Totally.
Well, thanks. Hello, Niall. Hope you are well. Hello, chat. Everyone's having a good chat amongst each other. Roma should have won that final. Should have had a penalty. Yes, that's good news then. Niall, I'm okay. I'm a lefty now, so learn. Oh, lefty, interesting. I only believe the Fabrizio Romano. Here we go. I'm going to be honest. Since the Caicedo stuff and the Lavia stuff, I don't. I'm only focusing on like the British journalists like Ornstein, Paul Joyce, Ian Doyle, just like the Liverpool-based ones. I'm not a. I think Fabrizio Romano comes across as a. He means well what he's done. I get why he's popular, but I think at times he can get stuff wrong, and I think especially with the Caicedo stuff, I felt like Chelsea were sort of putting a lot of information towards him just to tweet out nonsense, if I'm being honest. But that's just my obviously opinion. Only way you believe it's Fabrizio and David Ornstein. I was going to suggest Solanke X-Red, of course, no love lost. Exactly. Give the ball to Solanke against Liverpool against his former club. Thanks so much. No problem. 9 minutes plus can change things. Absolutely. Yeah. What? This is the one thing I've been wanting to ask you. What do you make of the extra allotted time onto added time? How do you what do you think of what's happened this season? Because I've got to be honest, I think it's a very good idea to sort of cut out the nonsense of the time wasting, but I do think that it adds on more sort of drama onto it.
Mm. Yeah, I mean, it's going to be interesting to see how it unfolds during the season, because when you get those really edgy, cagey games and
Yeah,
it's level and either team can score and the fourth official sticks up 10 minutes, it's I think it's going to make things interesting, but it's definitely going to stamp out all the nonsense, which I do think is needed, to be fair.
yeah, 100%, 100%. I think when you look at it as well, like there is a couple of teams in there where you say, yeah, it probably will suit them anyway. But yeah, we do actually have to obviously speak about the games from last season, because you actually beat us. You actually beat us at the Vitality, and I actually thought throughout that game you thoroughly deserved that win. Um, how do you see you guys lining up on Saturday? And obviously, we do have to obviously mention the result last season. I mean, that was an absolute horror show. But then again, you had Scott Parker as manager. Do you think Andoni Iraola will go a little bit sort of defensive this weekend?
Um, in all fairness, I don't think he will. There will be
Mm,
obviously periods of the game where we probably will be a bit more defensive, because obviously we're going to have to absorb the pressure of your front three. But I think all in all, he's going to try and go for it.
yeah.
Obviously, last year it was like sending our under 15s up there. No disrespect to our under 15s, but they would have put a better shift in than the first team. But um, yeah, I expect us to come at you. To be fair, I
Yeah.
do under this manager. If it was still Gary O'Neill in charge, I probably would say would be very, very cautious and look to absorb the pressure off Liverpool, and try and nick something.
Yeah.
Nick a draw. I, am not saying necessarily we're going to go up there and obviously dictate the play and beat Liverpool. So that'd be a stupid thing to say, but I do think that it's possible, but
Hmm.
I think we're come at you a little bit, a lot more than what we did last season anyway.
It's funny because Craig actually said, I think in I think it was actually obviously the game at the Vitality. He actually did say that teams do have a knack of actually when they've been absolutely battered, they do have a tendency to basically go out on the next game and actually make a statement. And I think as well with that win, as well, obviously, I can't even remember who scored actually. Now to think, oh no,
Um,
Billing. It was
uh,
Billing, wasn't it?
he's now known as Philip. He's dropped the billing. He has to be known as Philip now.
Oh
We're not,
right, okay.
yeah, we're
I
not
did
allowed
not. I
to
did
say.
not know that.
We're not allowed to say billing no more. If anybody's had the new shirts printed with 29 billing on the back, they're refunding them all and reprinting them as Philip.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah, so
So obviously Philip
that's
did
Philip.
actually score the winner.
Yeah,
As well, and then yeah, there was a dodgy penalty. Obviously, well, it was a handball, and then obviously Salah
yeah.
missed a penalty. But I think if you didn't get all 3 points in that game, I think there would have been something else. I thought you were the better team throughout that game.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with you. Liverpool, I mean, Van Dijk, I think that's probably the worst performance I've seen Van Dijk put in live, actually watching him live.
Yeah,
I mean, I think he let at one point, I think it was Dango Atara, I think he just let him walk straight past him, and that's what set Billing up, I think, eventually, if I remember rightly.
yeah,
Um, there was no one really that stood out for Liverpool that day,
yeah.
which was bizarre. But I think last season for Liverpool was a bizarre season anyway, really, wasn't it? I wouldn't have expected Liverpool to finish where they finished in the league. So, it was a strange season for Liverpool. But yeah, from our point of view, it was a good performance. I think all 11 men on the day put in a good shift, and we grinded out the result which we needed. And good overall performance. Probably one of the best under Gary O'Neill. That and the Tottenham one.
Yeah, no, I think I think some of the results you actually had. I mean, obviously beating us, as although, the funny thing was we beat Manchester United the previous week. Sorry, Maisie, I know you're in the chat. We beat them obviously 7-0, and then we go to your place and lose 1-0. We had a habit of doing that. We had a habit of beating a really, really big team. Like, for example, we beat Manchester City, I think 1-0 at Anfield. And then we went to Nottingham Forest and lost 1-0. So, yeah, we had a habit of doing that. So I am kind of hopeful that doesn't happen again. But you never know. Let's go back into the chat. Go and hijack Amrabat. I've got to be honest. I've seen Amrabat's name being mentioned, Putin, but I honestly don't think we're in for him. If I'm being honest, I honestly don't. Yes, Liz. I'm not believing any journalists. I want the photo. Absolutely, Liz. So true. What? No, Craig? Has he run off with Wally? Big up, hello, Chris. Yeah, Craig, unfortunately, is not feeling very, very well at this moment in time. So Matt has kindly stepped in as well. But obviously, Craig, if you are watching, get well soon, my friend. Get well soon. Caicedo always wanted to go to Chelsea. We put a bid in earlier. We may have signed him if we didn't treat the Lavia deal so badly. Might have chosen us about. Yeah, exactly. But we know why people are going to Chelsea for the money, of course.
Well,
but
obviously,
yeah. Hey, Chris. I'm covering the Vanarama National League North and South, and the injury time is like 11 minutes from last night's games. Wow. Yeah, it's mental. It's absolutely mental. Hey, Maze, nice to see you back, says Chris. We did that with Caicedo. Look what happened. Thanks, Chris. Just come to give Douglas support. Not sure when myself will return to do videos. Well, take your time. Take your time. Take your time. Is all I can say. You will determine it's right for you and only you. Yes, well said. Thank you. Major, I appreciate your football knowledge, just like your team. You are now Radio Star 2, Maze. Your laugh is a jingle. Trust you. How did Matt feel about Gary O'Neill leaving the club?
Yeah, good question. If you go back and watch it,
did it come as a shock?
No, not for me. No. Craig, I mean, is probably Gary O'Neill's biggest supporter. You'll see, every time Gary O'Neill moves, he puts a video out about him. No, he did a good job. I mean, let's just set it out straight. He did a good job in taking over the team when he did. The club made some good additions in January. He kept the club up. I called it on one of our podcasts in January after Bill Foley took over. I said that, yeah, Gary O'Neill is probably the right man for now. But I do believe, even though he signed, I think it was an 18-month contract or something, I did believe that the club would make the change in the summer. Purely because I think the club wanted to move in a new direction. There's a lot of changes at the club that's going on and happening. And I think Bill Foley wanted to really bring his own man in, because I think that decision of appointing O'Neill was kind of between the previous owner, Maxine Denham, Richard Hughes, the director of football, and Neil Blake, our chief executive, and with Bill Foley's kind of, I think they consulted all between them as the transfer the club was going through. So I think it was always inevitable that Bill Foley would have brought his own man in. So I'm not surprised. And overall, with what Iraola has achieved as a manager, I'm quite happy with who we've brought in, because there was a lot of names obviously bashing about. I think we announced that we parted ways with Gary O'Neill at like 12 o'clock, and within an hour we're getting linked to Graham Potter, Frank Lampard, who I definitely wouldn't want. No disrespect to
I don't think anyone would want Frank Lampard.
Great footballer, but Bournemouth wouldn't be right for him. So all these names getting knocked about, and I was kind of hoping none of those names, and then this name come out, and I was like spot on. So yeah, overall, I'm happy with it, and Gary O'Neill will be a good manager. Whether Wolves is the right club for him, I know they put in a very. I mean, I don't know if you watched it, but the game against United, Wolves were really, really impressive. Now, I don't know if that's new manager sort of bounce, or whether there's still some of the previous manager within the playing structure. I don't know, but I've actually tipped them to go down. And I still
to be honest, there's been a lot of people I know that have actually predicted Wolves to potentially go down as well, especially with obviously with Lopetegui
yes.
losing his job before the start of the season as well. But yeah, I totally agree with you. I thought Wolves were absolutely fantastic the other night. They were so unlucky to go away with nothing. As well, I mean, obviously, I know Maze is in the chat. I think Niall's in the chat as well. There is a few Manchester United supporters. How that was not a penalty?
It's a penalty.
It's 100% penalty. I mean, Onana, like, obviously, goalkeepers union and all this, but he's come a long way. He's completely collided. I can't even remember his name. The 6'7" striker. And completely poleaxed him. Now, anywhere else on the pitch, it's a free kick. So how is that like not a penalty? I know it went to the VAR as well, and actually the officials from that game have actually been dropped from the next round of fixtures, which I think is fair anyway. But I think if Gary O'Neill does well, I think if Wolves do go down, I think I could see them keeping him. And then to sort of build into the next season potentially in the championship. But I do know that there's a lot of people that I know have predicted Wolves to go down, me included, as well. But we'll wait and see. But if they play like they did against Manchester United, they'll have no problems in staying up.
Absolutely not.
Yeah. Thanks so much, Liz. Chris, I still want commercial rights to my laugh. Chris, Cardiff next. What happened last time you played them at the King Power? Camarasa, I think, scored, didn't he? I think Camarasa scored the winner that day, I think, if I remember. Too late, it's out there now, Maze. Lifty, you referring to post-match Vichai passing? That was at their place. Yes, it was at their place. I do remember that. Nope. Henry's asked, do you expect Thiago to start? I'll get on to starting 11s very, very shortly. I think there will be a couple of changes. I would not be too surprised to see a couple of changes. I'm referring to the match you lost 1-0 to. Yes, Camarasa. It was Camarasa. Victor Camarasa scored the winning goal that day as well. Premier League 18-19. Good evening, Shane. Hope you're well, mate. I have no recollection of such matters. Our home form was amazing last season. The away form was a mess. It was certainly. Loving our new signing from Chelsea. Really excited about him. Castaderi, I think that's how you say it. I really don't know. Hello, Statman Stubbs. Hope you're well. Even Douglas and Matt, just thought I'd drop in and say hello. Just about to go to football, but I left a like. Hope you are well. I'm not bad. Not too bad, my friends. Not too bad at all. Let's say hello to Steve. All about the money. Here comes the money. John, thank you very much for the super chat, my friend. I really do appreciate it. You did not have to do that, but thank you very, very much for doing that. I really do appreciate it. Big up Douglas and Matt. Liverpool 4, Bournemouth 0. We will wait and see.
On last season.
Mr. Conway, hi Liz. Thanks. Oh, Craig, look, Craig's in. Thanks, mate. Just I've got myself in such a stress about the work trip. I'm sure once I'm there, it will be okay. Yeah, Craig, get well soon, my friend. Get well soon, my friend. Hi, James freaking Mono. How's you? Might be off top, but most of the guys at NBC are saying Arsenal win the league.
That's all. Not on
the. Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
People have commented on our video saying we're mad because both me and Craig predicted Arsenal, but I don't know. I just think there's time for a break in the cycle.
It would be nice. It would be nice, wouldn't it? It would be very nice. I missed James freaking Mono. Lost use of my right arm, but moving forward, how's you? Oops, Daisy. Hope your new manager has a dog mat for Craig's sake. That's bad. That is really bad. Evening, Hannah. Hope you're well. I'm sorry to hear that. Let's hope you feel better soon. Oh, Les, thank you very much. Another super chat. Guys, I'm being very, very spoiled with these super chats. Thank you very much. Hit that dang like button. There you go. There you go, Liz. My really bad impression of American accent. But thank you very much, Liz, and thank you very much, John. I really do appreciate the super chats. As all managers should be looking at bettering themselves as managers and challenging themselves, not be about greed, etc. Yeah, try and say that to everyone who's gone over to Saudi Arabia. Hannah, Liz, Wolves are robbed. Yes, Liz. Your hubby is a Wolves supporter. He will be very, very aggrieved of not taking anything from Old Trafford because Manchester United were dire. So they were really, really dire in that game. Let's get well soon. Evening, Hannah. I'm sure it won't be Wolves and be Everton, Sheffield United. Yeah, Craig.
He hates Everton. He hates Everton.
He hates Everton.
He hates Everton. Every year, Everton go down. Everton can have the best squad in Europe, and he'd still say they go down.
I mean, the problem with Everton and Wolves, right? They don't score enough goals.
That's it.
And I think as well, I think putting Everton there, I wouldn't be too surprised because they've not really got a striker. I know they've obviously got Yusuf Tramitri to potentially come in, but it's difficult to rely on a 19-year-old to come in and get the goals. Anyway, but yeah, Craig, I think you could be right, mate. I think you could be right. That wasn't a penalty for Wolves. I don't know. Absolute disgrace from the VAR. According to a Netherlands journalist, we are close to signing Amber. Wow. Well. Again, I'm not believing anything I read. I'm not believing anything I read, to be honest. But thank you for the update, Jersey boy. I also don't get why Salah and Chilwell's goals were offside. Doesn't your whole body have to be offside with the new rule? Who knows, mate? Who knows? I did actually say before coming on, I was going to try and not talk about VAR. But yeah, there you go. Also, clear handball by Jackson. Yeah, it was. BR has always been soft. LFC hijacking the United for Amberbat. Wow. If Arsenal win the league, I must be really bad at predicting Prem winners. LFC 10-0 Saturday. Joking. 3-0. Everyone's getting their suffering. Amberbat's close to joining Liverpool. Well. I mean, obviously, if that's the case, then a CDM is definitely the priority, definitely. But again, I'm not believing it. I'm refusing to get my hopes up after obviously Caicedo and Lavia falling through, to say the very least. The last time I got a Prem winner right was Man City 18-19, 19-20. I said City 20-21. I said Liverpool 21-22. I said Chelsea 22-23. I said Liverpool this season, went for City, and who knows, Arsenal could. Elevator, I've got to be honest, that Chelsea prediction is probably your worst prediction because they finished 12th. Anyway, but I'll get back into the chat very, very shortly. What have you made of Liverpool summer so far, Matt?
Well, I think it's quite interesting, like how many big names you've lost.
Yeah.
There's a lot of names gone out the door, but then you have brought players in. From an outsider looking in, it was probably time to change some of the old guard and freshen it up a little bit, probably after last season.
Yeah.
I think Liverpool will be back in the Champions League places this year. I really do. I think Klopp's an outstanding manager. One of my favourites, if I'm being all honest. And you can see with his pedigree as a manager that last season was just a blip for Liverpool. I'm pretty certain. But yes, the transfer activity for Liverpool has been pretty decent, I reckon. Can't remember exactly every player you've signed, but the ones I've seen that you've signed are pretty decent. That midfielder has taken the number 8 shirt. Can't pronounce his name.
Szoboszlai.
Yeah. No, he seems quality. But yeah, it's going to be a good season for Liverpool, I reckon. Definitely.
Yeah. Hopefully. Well, it's definitely got to be better than last season. Anyway, Elliot says he has Wolves 16th. We all hate Everton. Yes, we all do. Yes, me too. I have Everton bottom. There you go. Sean Dyche has not left Everton. No, definitely not. Definitely not. Hannah, Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. I don't know what that's about. It took me way too long to get that reference, Liz. 2-1 LFC, Spaniard Diaz says Henry. No worries, Hannah. 1995. Oh, yeah. Everton haven't won anything since 1995. No, I said Chelsea, we win in the 21-22 season. Like 22-23, when it was Liverpool, we came fifth. Sobo is going to be class. Yeah, absolutely. Jordy, hello, mate. Hope you're well. Yo, what's up? He's saying we're winning the league. Well, you are top at the moment. You are top at the moment. I think Newcastle have a good season. I think they will have a good season. Hello, Daz. We've got Douglas in chat and guest. Where can you see us pressing this weekend? Well, we will get onto that. Fabrizio has just tweeted about Amrabat to Liverpool. Interesting. Well, again, not believing it. I'm not believing it, but if we get him, then fantastic, absolutely fantastic. And obviously, that's the CDM that's obviously sorted as well. But that's not all I want. I want another midfielder, at least another defender, and then I think we're good to go. So we'll go into starting 11s now. How do you see Bournemouth lining up at Anfield on Saturday?
Probably the same as we set up against West Ham, to be fair, in terms of formation. Personnel might change. Depends on whether he is rotating certain wingers or injuries as well. I think Lewis Cook won't be back for this one. Hopefully Marcus Sensei be back because he's a solid defender. So for that trip up to Anfield, we're definitely going to need him in part of the back four. So it'd be kind of exactly the same as we set up against West Ham. It just depends on whether, well, I imagine with Lewis Cook out, Philip will probably play a bit deeper, and they might again put Christie in behind Dom Solanke. I would imagine he's going to go with the same formation.
Interesting, very, very interesting. I think as well. I actually see Solanke giving us a bit of problems. I've got to be honest. I think he is a big handful. A big handful. I'm happy that he scored. I think he's needing to add more goals, definitely. But I think you've got a good bench as well, like coming off the bench as well. Obviously, you got Cliver, you've got Christie there as well. So I think the way that you guys are playing, and yeah, look, it's going to be a very, very difficult game on Saturday. And I know your record isn't great at Anfield, but obviously, barring the 9-0 games, there actually has been some pretty close encounters between us.
There has,
but I think it could be a bit of a closer affair. Anfield. I mean, I don't see us putting 9 past you again. Let me just say, because I know from obviously speaking to you just before we went on air, you were actually at the 9-0 game, weren't you?
Yeah. Interesting drive back because myself and Craig, we went up with a friend who's a Liverpool fan. So driving back was interesting.
And he phoned it to 606, didn't he?
Say again.
He apparently Craig phoned it was at 606 or something like that.
What, on the way home?
Yeah,
he was on Radio 5 Live, I think, with Chris Sutton, having an argument with Chris Sutton. That's what
interesting.
He was. I think it was Radio 5 Live, and I think Chris Sutton just said, "Craig, you're mental," and that was kind of the end of the call, really. But yeah, an interesting journey back, nevertheless.
Yeah, but no, you're not at the game this weekend anyway. But yeah, right. Let me go into the chat. I know. Actually, no. I'll give you my Liverpool team. I'm going to be honest, guys. I think there will be changes to this game. I think we will see. I think Jota will come out. I think potentially Gakpo will probably move back to the number 9 role, and I think you'll probably see. I was going to say Thiago, but actually, I know Thiago's back in training, but I could easily see like a Curtis Jones or a Harvey Elliott potentially coming in. So I'm going to Alisson in goal, Alexander-Arnold, Konate, Van Dijk, and Robertson. And then I think it will be Matt Callister in the 6th role, I think, for the time being. I'm going to go Curtis Jones and then obviously Szoboszlai. And then I'm going to go Diaz, Gakpo, and Salah. Because I do think there will be a couple of changes. Because I think Jota didn't do great at Chelsea. And I think Gakpo is certainly not a midfielder as well. Because you look at what Chelsea did against Liverpool. They had obviously Reece James, they had Sterling on Robertson's side. Robertson was getting very, very exposed as well. Do you think Bournemouth might have a tactic to maybe double up on Andy Robertson? Because there's a lot of teams that seem to be doing that at the moment.
Yeah, it's obvious why, isn't it? Because he is a class player. Yeah, quite possibly. Who will he be up against? He'll be up against Max Aarons, probably
Yep.
with a right back. So yeah, I could see them possibly putting 2 on him. I can't see. Try to figure out who else he might put on him. Might be somebody like. It's hard to tell because usually it could be you could suggest maybe Mr. Lerma, but obviously we don't have that luxury anymore. So
Yeah.
Lewis Cook's out. So yeah, he might well do. He might well do. Might well do.
Yeah. It could be a very interesting battle, to say at the very, very least. Let's go into the chat again. I've been really impressed by Newcastle. Yep, I have been as well. Hi, Daz. After consider, wait for him to hold shirt. Absolutely. Hi, Liz. Hope you're well today. Well, we're now informed us of in Amrabat's AD report. No formal bid yet made yet. Just contact. Oh, I thought you were going to say a bid's been made or something like that. Fabrizio having his time of the month must be. Daz, I'm okay. I've moved Wolves up another couple of places just to the Gary O'Neill factor now, Matt.
Yeah, there's a surprise.
There's a surprise.
There'll be a video out about that tomorrow.
Getting ready for predictions tomorrow. 3 p.m. Henry. 3 p.m. kickoff. 3 p.m. There was a game where Milner cleared one off the line. We won that too. Yes. Callum Wilson, I believe, scored that day. And I think it was Salah. I can't remember the other scorer. I cannot remember the other scorer. James freaking Milner. Okay, Daz. The legendary Brian Baxter. There you go. Scott Parker's last game. Has anyone ever noticed that Scott Parker looks like Ted Bundy? Nope, I have not.
To say Ted Bundy, I can tell you that.
Liz, sorry, Liz, it's James freaking Milner. Elevator. Yes, absolutely. Round of 5 live across Sutton and Robbie Savage. They said Parker should have stayed. I told them he should go.
Right. That's it.
And then the next again day he did go. I think Darwin should start. Interesting to say the very least. Bonkers. It's Philip is their danger man, but we should smash Bournemouth by 5-1. Gakpo was poor in that midfield role on Saturday. He was. Les, any other channels in the chat? Do you know? I'm not convinced by Amrabat. Not going to lie. I'm not really. The only time I really saw Amrabat was the World Cup, so you can't sort of really judge on that. Wasn't quite sure. Okay, I got to go and eat before I do my live at 9 p.m. No problem at all. Callum Wilson scored in the 9th minute. Salah equalised. Mane, that's the one. I did remember that. James freaking Lactose Milner. Jordy says Darwin on the bench, in my opinion, and that was the game before we lost 3-2 to Atletico Madrid. Yes, it was. Yes, it was as well. Right, score predictions. What are you going to go for?
This is the bit I always hate because I can't not back my team, but they're not going to win. Do you know what? I've got to say a cheeky draw. That's what my heart's saying. That's what my heart's saying. I can't back us to lose. I can't back us to lose any game.
Can't back you to lose.
Always have a little bit of belief, no matter who you're playing.
Yeah, absolutely. So 1-1, 2-2. What are you going for?
I'm gonna go. There's gonna be goals in it. I'm gonna go 2-2.
2-2. Well, I'm going to say this now, Reds. If you're expecting 9 goals against Bournemouth again, it ain't happening. I think you will score, but I think we'll get a couple. I'm going to go 3-1 Liverpool. I'm going to go 3-1 Liverpool. I think that would be not bad. And as I said, there have been some very, very close encounters in the past between us, so I fully expect that to be another good game on Saturday. What would we do? Ali, Gomez, Kanati, VVD, Trent, Robbo, McAllister, Jones, Diaz, Gakpo, Salah. Potentially do that. No Sobo, though. Interesting bonkers. Daz, a few. Shane's going 3-0 Liverpool. Henry says, good luck, Matt, for Saturday. You're going to need it. Daz is going 9-0. I think that's just to basically just piss off Matt. Liverpool 2, Bournemouth 0. I think Salah Nunes to score. Gakpo, yeah, I was wondering a bit. I was wondering what you were saying when you said Fakpo. Georgie's gone Liverpool 2, Bournemouth 2.
Well done. That's what we like.
Liz has also gone Liverpool 4-0. Sorry, Matt. If we score 9 again, I will be really, really shocked. Yeah, I would be. I would be as well. But Matt, thank you very much for coming on the channel. I really do appreciate it. Obviously, Craig, get well soon. I know that you were obviously going to come on, and but no, thank you to Matt for jumping on. Really, really do appreciate it. Tell the people where they can find you, and tell the people where up the cherries and all departments. Tell us about your wee channel.
Yeah, right. So obviously Bournemouth fan base channel. We're on all platforms, everything from YouTube to Spotify, Insta, Facebook, you name it, we're on it. We're also AFC Bournemouth's official fan channel for Talk Sport. So we're also associated with them. I think that's about it, really. I think just we're on everything. Insta, Spotify. I mean, if Craig was here, he'd be able to list every single platform we're on. But, yeah, if it's a platform, we're on it.
Absolutely. No. Please go and check Up the Cherries and all departments. The link to Matt and Craig's channel is in the description box down below. So just press on it and hit that subscribe button. Obviously, hit the subscribe button over on here. As well. I just wanted to also say a very, very quick thank you to everybody who has got me to 2.6k. Absolutely amazing. I only hit 2.5k, I think, in like July. And the growth of the channel has been very, very good. I really do appreciate everyone who's tuned in to the shows as well. So thank you very much, everybody. So I know the UEFA Super Cup's on, but I've got to be honest, I couldn't care less. I couldn't care less. Daz, Ali, Trent, Kanati, Van Dijk, Robertson, McAllister, Jones, Soboslai, Diaz, Gakpo, Salah. There you go. Did that very, very quickly. Geordie says we're going to scrape a victory against City 1-0 next week. Look, if you beat Manchester City, that is a big, big factor already as well. Look, that's going to be a fantastic game anyway to watch on Saturday tea time. Anyway, thanks, Matt, says Liz. I don't know what it is about us winning 9-0. 9-0 against United on aggregate in the 21-22 season and 9-0 against Bournemouth last season. It ain't happening again. It ain't happening again. Only Liz. Liz.
No, we're not on that one, but Craig, I think Craig's thinking about it.
I am certainly not thinking about that anyway. Oh, that's just put me completely off guard anyway. We all know City won the Super Cup, yeah, of course. Newcastle would be known as a real force if they beat City. Absolutely. But guys, thank you very much for watching. Really do appreciate you all watching as well. Do hit the like button. Do hit that subscribe button as well. Also, let us know your thoughts about the game on Saturday. Liverpool and Bournemouth fans do get involved as well. But thank you very much for watching. Should be a very interesting game on Saturday. But all that can be said is that this will be much, much closer than the game last season. From the two of us, from myself and Matt, it is good night.